This is why it's fascinating to have someone like yourself with your background to talk about these things and these relationships that you talk about all the time. And like I said, in your background, and to be doing it in business and to be doing it with your kids and to talk about it and to share it and to have content, to be on this podcast and share these stories, because it's not just about laundry. It's way bigger than that. Like you said, what would you do with 2 to 3 extra hours? Maybe it's go out to dinner with your wife or hang out with your kids or go to, who knows what that is. And that's why there's more depth to it. But it is appearing and it is creating content. And I've thought about these as like, there's coding or technology, and then there's media. You have the coding, right? You have your son who's created this. You created this algorithm. You have this. It's like, this thing can work while you all are working on other things related to the business. And you got to obviously update the coding. And then you pair that with the media, the technology, the branding, the website, social media. Again, it is just a tool. It just happens to be a prominent tool today. How important, obviously, are you seeing it? Because you clearly see the coding side of it and you built a business around that, to then also partner that with the media aspect when you are ready to say, we need to tell some stories. We need to create some content. We need to appear on podcasts, maybe write some blog posts. You have some Facebook pages and all that. How important is that content for you as an entrepreneur? And you've seen it over the last, say, few decades to say, things have changed and you don't have to go to the Channel 2 News anymore. You just go right to you get featured. This podcast could be up and running the next day if we wanted it to be. It's amazing what it can do. It's also scary, right? There's the other side of it, and there's definitely bad sides, and I agree with you on that. But it's a fascinating thing in that you're now partnering the coding and the media. Are you seeing that as these two driving forces for your business and saying, this is significant leverage that we have?
100%. I mean, look, we're not a laundry company. We're a technology company. But we also have, just like any company, there has to be strong messaging and there has to be strong marketing. I mean, you've got to get the message out that, look, this opportunity exists. You can save 2-3 hours a week and you don't have to do your laundry. Just tap the app and it's done. You can work from home and make some extra money, and it's great quality of life, extra income gig. So that message has to get out there. And you can have the greatest technology in the world, but if the message is not out there, nobody's going to use the technology. So we really do have to marry those two. No pun intended. That's what we're working on.
Yeah. Well, Mort, I appreciate, like I said a little while ago, the depth of what you're creating, the family relationships, the opportunity to bring people into the gig economy. You're opening this, like I said, the gateway to entrepreneurship, to start something, to free people's time up. It's fascinating when you'd reached out, and I was fascinated by the family dynamic first. And as I got to dive into it more, I got to learn more about you and then the business and where we're going and just these different opportunities that exist in people who have these minds to say, what else is out there? What else can I create? What other conversations can I be having to just think through it? And I'm fascinated just by learning by it. Say, okay, what are they up to? I'm in. And if nothing else, like you have someone here to said, we do our laundry, but we've used different companies and I'm fascinated by what you're doing. We're going to give it a shot. And that's just, it's one at a time, right? Because like you said, it's just that driver you had in Las Vegas. He's one of many people inside of your community, but it's one at a time. And I'm sure you've had many other one-off conversations. It's like, yeah, you want to scale the business and that's great. But I've heard this constantly. It's just one conversation at a time. It's like I say, it's like one podcast, one piece of content at a time. It can't get lost in, I'll get so overwhelmed if I start thinking about what's going to happen. No. It's just this conversation and then reflect on it and move forward and go back and who knows what comes from it. And that's the beauty of it. Like there's the obvious known and then there's the unknown that I couldn't have, like you reached out to us. I couldn't have said, what is SudShare? I didn't know. Well, now I do know. And I'm glad I do. And this has been a great conversation. Content Matterz with a Z is our content marketing company that helps entrepreneurs tell their own stories to those who care. And here's the thing. We think every entrepreneur that is willing should have their own content platform. And we want to help make that happen, both by working directly with entrepreneurs and by sharing our own stories, exploring the craft of content marketing. Content Matterz, one piece of content at a time. Learn more at KazContent.com.